So let's look at the Qibla direction in very northerly regions in North America. We often talk about western regions, and we understand that North America is west of the Qibla, or of Mecca, uh, and we say that we've shown that the direction is northeast. But what happens when we start looking at regions in North America that are very northerly? For example, the Yukon region in Canada, or even um, Alaska in the United States. So what we're going to do is again, I have Mecca highlighted. I'm going to rotate this so that the great circle projected in 2D is vertical. Can't do it perfectly, but again, I think that's good enough. So this is the direction. The straight direction on my 2D projection of the globe aligns with the great circle between Alaska and Mecca. And what do I see? Well, the North Pole, I think, is right here, to the best of my knowledge, right here. The direction, the straight direction, the direction you would face in Alaska to Saudi Arabia, it's actually north. If the North Pole is right here, you would face the North Pole, and that would lead you, in terms of your direction, to face Saudi Arabia. Very interesting. And the reason why is that Alaska is at such a northerly direction. When we look at the flat map, the kind of Mercator map that we're usually used to, it's very skewed at northerly directions. If you were to look at it, Russia would be here, and Alaska would be over here, but they're actually connected. There's a lot of skewing. If you look at Alaska, it's kind of all the way around the globe, on the same kind of latitude, but it's on the other side. So you wouldn't face east in Alaska to go to Saudi Arabia, because that doesn't lead you on a straight direction. The way you face in northerly directions, such as Yukon as well as Alaska, is actually north. And you can see the northeasterly direction of places more in the middle of North America, California, Arizona, and even in the eastern parts. It's more northeast. It's this way. But it's very interesting. As you move towards higher regions, more northerly regions, the direction becomes more northerly than eastern. And when you get to really, really northern places, it starts to become north. It's a very interesting point. And again, this has to do with the fact that, north, east, west, we have to understand these are kind of planar directions, but they are projected onto a sphere, which is a three-dimensional object. And therefore, the directions become skewed at very far distances or places that are very close to the poles. So this shows an example of how, in a region in North America, the direction can change. It doesn't necessarily remain northeast, but it becomes more northerly than east. And that's actually a trend as you move from places in the US, from California to Washington to in Canada, British Columbia, Yukon to Alaska, the direction becomes more northerly than eastern. Or you can say the opposite: as you move more south, it becomes more northeastern. There is no way that the direction, particularly in Alaska, could be south or southeast. How do you do that? Southeast is that way. In fact, Alaska or more northerly regions in North America demonstrates more strongly the fact that the Qibla in North America is, northeast. Because as you move through these higher regions, it's impossible for it to be south. South would just be going this way. You'd miss it. It's more northerly, to the point where it becomes northeast. Oh, I apologize. I mean more northerly. So northern regions, the Qibla direction is north. And the nice thing about northerly directions is it kind of re-emphasizes the fact that southeast can't be, just through visual observation, the Qibla in North America. It's northeast, and as you move to more northerly directions, it becomes more north, certainly not more south. Now I'm going to do something very interesting. I want to look at Hawaii. Okay, so we have Alaska here. Hawaii is kind of on the other side of the globe, away from Alaska. I can't pull down the globe like this. It won't allow me. But let's just memorize Alaska's right here. The Qibla direction is down this way. Let's just rotate the globe. We're going to lose Saudi Arabia, but let's just keep our eye on Hawaii, which is down here. And we're just going to line it again, right? So this. We have Hawaii here, Alaska here, and we're looking at Greece here, right? Iraq, Iran, Iraq is just north of Mecca. Let's see if I can pull it a little bit so we can see it. It's a little bit difficult. But again, Hawaii is technically North America. It's on the other side of the globe. And you're going to see Hawaii is an example in North America, quote unquote North America, that is so far west that now the direction begins to change. It wouldn't be northeast, but it would start to be northern because it's like flip. It's like on the other side of the globe. So the Great Circle from Hawaii to Mecca. Let's just take Iraq as a proxy. Let's see if I can rotate that to kind of prove that. Yeah, Iraq and Syria, that's kind of a proxy for Mecca. We start to see that Hawaii, if you want to face the Qibla, Mecca, in Hawaii, it would start to be north. It would be north. In fact, if the North Pole is here, it might even be more of a northwest, a very strong northerly west direction. And again, this points, it wouldn't be south again. Again, if you were looking at a flat Mercator net map, you would see Hawaii like right here, Mecca would be over here, and you just say southeast. It's just not. We're looking in practically in reality, we're looking at a three-dimensional object. The globe is a three-dimensional object. And Hawaii is on the other side of the globe. And the straight direction would be here north or even northwest. So those are two examples, both Alaska as well as Hawaii really demonstrate how southeast just doesn't work as a direction, and how the sphericity of the globe lends itself to having directions that are different than what would be perceived using a flat map. And they're going to be, in North America, northeast. As you move to Alaska, it's going to be more northerly. And when we move to Hawaii, probably north, even moving towards more of a northwesterly direction.